Solutran show in Lyon last November, the new generation DAF CF and XF was jointly crowned International Truck of the Year. Now, together with my colleagues here, we're going to explain why it won. Right guys, lucky dip, choose your key.
Well, like Colin's parties in the 70s, I would imagine.
Is that right, Colin?
I wish.
There are plenty of changes on the new DAF CF and DAF XF, the most noticeable of which is right here, this silver strip and the chrome around the lettering of the logo that really help it stand out. There are these silver strips, and the mesh at the front here, which is black on this vehicle, is now silver on the XF. There's another little strip at the bottom, and up there a revised sun visor that contributes 0.5% to the overall 7% fuel saving of the vehicles. But as this is a tipper, the most important thing is weight saving. And this little beauty is the engine after-treatment system that will save 150 kilos because it's now more compact. If you want an additional 100 kilo saving, you can spec optional disc brakes at the back, which is great for operators because payload equals money.
Both the CF and XF have had an interior refresh. The most noticeable are the new colours for the dashboard. Black as standard, but this one's got cognac. Controls for the interior lights, they're new. You can either have the driving light or the spotlight, and with a plus and minus in the middle, you can control the intensity. The rest heater, that's a new feature. Come to a stop on a cold day and press that button and you've effectively got 45 minutes of free heat before having to put the night heater on. But my favourite of all, it's got to be the controls for the speed. They're all on the steering wheel now. That's a great safety feature. It's intuitive, you don't have to take your hands off the wheel and you don't have to take your eyes off the road.
All those cosmetic and technological improvements are all well and good. It's here under the cab floor that the real improvements to the new CF and XF ranges have been made. Starting with the turbocharger, a whole new range has been introduced, specifically optimised for particular power outputs. Whilst inside the engine, there have been a raft of changes aimed at reducing parasitic losses. To find out what it's like to drive on the road, let's go over to George.
Thanks, Colin. The important thing to know about the Traxon is that it's quicker than the old AS-tronic. It's also now standard across the whole range. And there's also a 16-speed manual option if that's what you're after. There are 3 important new changes to the software settings for the Traxon gearbox. There's now an on-off-road software setting, which is in this, the tipper truck. There's the option of a heavy haulage setting, and there's also software in the tanker that Will's driving. What that means in the tipper is that for on-road driving, efficiency is prioritised, but for off-road driving, it's all about performance. That means faster gear changes, and the clutch closes a lot quicker so that you don't get bogged down in the mud if you have to make a gear change. Will's now going to tell you about those gearbox settings available in the tanker.
This truck's got the liquid transport software on the Traxon gearbox. It's clever stuff. What it does, it starts you off in 3rd gear, so it's a more gradual, refined start. I really like this truck's engine brake. It's really effective. I've just done the A40 down from Stokenchurch. It's got 3 stages, and you just switch between them. It holds the truck perfectly. There's lots of little features I like about this truck, and one of them, it's so simple, it's the speedometer. The miles per hour is more prominent than kilometres, which is exactly as it should be on a UK truck. I'm sure it's not my imagination, but the new CF and XF are definitely quieter than their predecessors. I don't know what DAF's done, but it's done something. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Driving a DAF CF is a lot like putting on your favourite work boots. They're not the most expensive work boots, they're not the newest work boots, but they are supremely comfortable. And DAF have just given them a polish and added a fur lining.
Of course, all those driveline improvements under the bonnet only become really apparent when you get behind the wheel. The combination of the multi-torque feature, which provides another 150 Newton meters of torque in top gear, the fact that the current 480 engine has the same amount of torque as the previous 510, the wider spread of gear ratios from these latest Traxon gearbox, and the final drive ratio, all combined to help with down speeding, which results in a much more efficient journey, especially at higher motorway cruising speeds.
Well, I hope you've done a good job of explaining why the DAF CF and XF are the current international truck of the year. There have been so many changes, especially under the skin.
Absolutely. For me, the big difference really is that Traxxon gearbox. It's now a much better driveline and suited to all sorts of applications. What do you think, Colin?
I agree, but the most important lesson to remember is that all this exciting new technology is completely wasted unless you invest in driver training to take the maximum advantage of it.
Agreed. Right, is that a wrap? Can we have lunch now?